Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for your continued support in this channel. Detective Jane Mugo was vying for Kirinyaga women rep seat on the UDA ticket, and she was facing other candidates in the just concluded UDA nominations. But there is something that was happening that I think, according to me, she became a little bit, she became blind of it. Because Jane Mugo was part of the team that investigated the NYS scandal that was involving Kirinyaga Governor Anne Mumbi Waiguru. And when it was time for her to get the UDA ticket in a free and fair nomination, Jane Mugo is saying that Waiguru stood in the gap and blocked her way in what is seen as trying to settle the old scores of the NYS scandal. Now, interestingly, in her expose that she has shared in her Facebook page, she has tried to drag Deputy President William Ruto, Ndindi Nyoro, and Rigathi Gachagua. Now, that makes it a bit more juicy. So, according to one thing I have realized, that the UDA nominations, despite the fact that it had a low turnout in Mount Kenya, but it was used as a very good parameter for UDA to at least posture as a democratic party and at least pick candidates through a universal suffrage in areas they deemed that were highly competitive. So I want to read for you what she has shared in her Facebook page. I went for UDA nominations because I'm not a coward. Yes, I investigated you during NYS and I was on duty. You got sanitized by your goddess. I don't hate you. I don't fear you. But if you don't repent, Kirinyaga family, no Waiguru, Murango, who is the, I think, Senate aspirant, Madenge, an SPM's entrant, and Kaimbi will finish Kirinyaga County. He's saying something. There is somewhere he mentioned where he addressed this issue. He's saying that when I heard Madam Waiguru and aspiring Senator Murango were planning to rig nomination, and Wangeshi or Njeri as a women rep, I politely asked her during last UDA aspirant meeting in Karen. I reported this to Ruto, Ndindi, and Gachagua. They promised fair nominations. I asked you guys to rate on UDA nominations terms of organization the way it was done. I was going through the comment section, and of course there was a hard tackle because me, I gave Ruto 4 out of 10. My parameter for giving 4 out of 10 was because of the turnout. The turnout in Mount Kenya was less than 10%, and the less than 10%, they are UDA aspirants who turned out to vote. Or not UDA, they are Jubilee, or rather they are Azimio. So genuine followers of UDA who might have turned out in central Kenya are less than 6%. Someone is saying 2%, but I find that a little bit too low. Less than 6%. Genuine UDA voters, followers. That one you cannot compare with a low voter turnout of followers in maybe other areas. For example, if you look at Busia, you cannot compare because Busia had, yes, fairly, I think around 13% turnout. But majority of those fellas are in Azimio. Now, or rather in ODM. So this is something that turned out. And of course, I want us to do another rating. In terms of fairness, free and fairness, how would you rate? How would you rate? Now, please do that. Check out the page. I will make sure you comment. I'll read that. Then, I don't know why everyone that is complaining about rigging is putting the ballot paper at the center of this. Because even in Bomet, the complaint was on marked ballot papers. Then Jane Mugo shared a very disturbing video, honestly. And I want us to watch that video here. That is a gentleman who is seated somewhere. They are very comfortable. They are not under pressure, and is doing it in a very easy manner. And in fact, it doesn't look like it was a big deal. It's like someone is just doing this as at his comfort, like maybe 7 hours or some many hours to the nomination time. So it is really worrying. So this one is what Jane Mugo shared in her Facebook page, saying how she was rigged out by these UDA fellas. So what exactly is happening? Before that, I want to expose for you one thing, and you will understand how UDA nominations was rigged. And I want to blame, number one, I want to blame the headquarters, the people who printed the ballot papers. If you look at what Nani has shared, what Jane Mugo has shared, and I want you to again look at this other video.
Same marking. Ata ageje ata. Kangene skole gorongi itishe kitimo mwe chacha. Jesus Christ. Oh. Anyoke kujumcha yengenyo.
Engale na ngale.
These are two from different places. The other one is in Kirinyaga, and this other one is in Bomet. You will realize that the ballot papers were in some sort of a booklet. So if it is, that is why you find the guy anafungua ni kama anafungua vitabu tu. All of them, if you check, ni kufungua ni kama mtu anafungua vitabu. That made it so easy, because if, for example, it's a book that has let's just, I don't have an idea, but let's speculate that maybe it has 50 pages. You know, there's a 50 votes that are stuck together. So mtu anachukua tu moja, back, tick, put. So it's very easy for someone to even manipulate. And I think that is the first blunder they did. They would have made sure that the ballot papers are papers, not in a booklet. And I don't know whether IBC should have a regulation of this. People are not keen, but I think there should be a regulation, or maybe there should be some policy on what exactly is a ballot paper. Is it a ballot paper or a ballot booklet? What UDA was using was a ballot booklet. So the ballot booklet can easily be accessed. Na mtu ana tick very fast. In fact, very easy. You find the way that guy is doing that ticking very easy with a lot of convenience. But if they're ballot papers, it will not be that easy, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what do you think? Let's look at what is really manifesting in this Jane Mugo expose. Kindly, before you do that, I want to humbly request you to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and please also tell us the rating in terms of free and fairness, how much will you give? I'll tell you that I also give mine at the end. Yes, I also give mine at the end. I know you can guess. Your guess is as good as mine. Now, one, there is something that is happening that Ruto and the team did not trust Jane Mugo. And for this, that is why I'm saying that Jane Mugo did not just know what she was doing, because all these fellas, Waiguru is a sitting governor. Ruto is deputy president. Gachagua is facing corruption charges. Ndindi Nyoro is a sitting MP. Now, all these people are, there is an element of corruption in everyone, and they can't trust her. In fact, I can be sure that Waiguru will make sure that Jane Mugo do not become the women rep of that county if Waiguru is going to be the governor, because that Jane Mugo is going to investigate her. She's not going to leave. You know, the investigation, I understand. I have interacted with a few investigative journalists, and it is something that is inbuilt. It's inborn. They question everything. They're like, when you talk to them, within 5 minutes, they'll be telling you, but I think it is this other way. They don't agree with anything. So Ruto and the team did not trust that lady. And that is why I think Waiguru had a very easy way to make sure that she can fix her out. And remember the corruption, and remember the NYS scandal really touched on Waiguru. And at some point, even William Ruto was bashing Waiguru. So this is something that is there. Number two, I think Ruto decided to put Governor Waiguru in charge of the nominations in Kirinyaga. And I want to point out that this is one of the blunders that he did. Even in Bomet, the governor Barchok was fully in charge of UDA nominations there. Some of the county government casts were being used. It is only in Kericho and Wasigishu that the incumbents, but even in Wasigishu, Mandago, I'm told Mandago is a very close relative to the person who won, and people were actually questioned, saying that, look here, maybe the things were rigged, you never know. But again, Mandago is an incumbent. Kericho, there was no interference. Checkpoint stayed clear and said, I am not going to be part of this. But in other areas, you will actually realize that the incumbent governors, and what I understand is the blunder that UDA did was to put an incumbent governor, even though an incumbent governor already has a direct ticket, but he or she has an interest. So I support this strategy they employed, because I saw Didmas Baraza was sent in the Keto Waiguru's county, Kipchumba Murkomen, and I think another Bernard Koros was in Embu. And they tried to jumble and at least send some few people here and there. Ben Washeli and another gentleman was somewhere. So that at least kind of worked somehow. But again, putting Governor Waiguru or governors in charge of these nominations was a blunder. Number three, I think the question is, what are the powerful roles that Gachagua and Ndindi Nyoro had? Because Jane Mugo is saying that she addressed the issue of rigging claim in front of these two in Ruto. So what is these powerful positions that Ndindi Nyoro Rigedi Gachagua had in charge of these nominations? Because I want to believe that maybe in this meeting Ndindi Nyoro, Ruto and Gachagua were there, and maybe they were taking the front seat. So Jane Mugo regarded them. So could it be that there was another special team that was tasked to take charge, or rather to oversee UDA nominations in Central Kenya? Speculating that will not be too much. That is most likely possible. And if indeed there was another special team, an elite team that was tasked to take charge of the UDA nomination in Central Kenya, then these blames that are going on is something that catches the eye. The things that happened in Kiambu, I want to believe Kiambu there was some rigging. I have listened to Wajango, although Wajango would have just gone to that MP seat. He was going too fast. He would have just gone for that MP seat. But if you look at how it is done, even Mwaura is complaining, but I think he has conceded defeat. So these are things that are happening. Lastly, the big question is this. Why did UDA or rather, the weak link in those nominations was security of ballot papers. I think there was the security of the, I think not even ballot papers, the security of the voting materials was compromised. Now, this is a lesson to anyone who wants to do nomination 5 years to come, or tomorrow, or next week. If there is something to make sure that election is free and fair, you rather have complications with the register on the voting day, but to make sure that the voting materials are secured. Because if you remember the clip from Embu, where daylight, the borders just going on with their businesses, and ballot papers and the voting materials, the plastics there, are being burnt by roadside, and people are just watching. Look at that. So you rather have violence. Let people have the push and pull in the line and complain that my name is not in the register. But to that, it is easily manageable. The most difficult part of managing a nomination is security of ballot papers. And that is why some people are telling me that when I tried to involve the state in this, I was blaming the wrong person. But the truth is, the state plays a role, because the security is under the state. They can accept to send the police or not. You understand? So this is exactly what happened. And remember, this has been happening. I want to play for you this last clip. This is a clip of an MC aspirant, I think it was in Ruiru, who complained he won and the ticket was being given to someone, but later on we understood that William Ruto intervened, and of course that was very good, and the gentleman was given the ticket. But this is what transpired even before that happened. So on the rating, what is my rating? I gave 4 out of 10 on overall UDA nominations. In terms of free and fairness, let me give them 5. Because there is also interference from outside. Jubilee supporters were also having interest in these nominations. Azimio supporters were also having interest, and even the state was having interest. So a bit of that interference is there. So ladies and gentlemen, that's my analysis, and give us also your thoughts. What are your ratings?